Good evening, everybody. It has been 2 months since Virtual Sim Leagues have had a race. It was the last time back in F1 22, but we are back for a brand new season, but on the new F1 23 game. Welcome to Season 11. Welcome to round number 1 of the championship. We head to the Suzuka circuit for the Japanese Grand Prix. Should be a good one, should be a great season, and I hope you're all going to join us all for the ride. This is Tier 1. My name is Jess Ball, and I'm usually going to have Mike joining me in the commentary box, but he is covering Tier 2 tonight, because otherwise there'll be no stream, and we don't want that, do we? So I'm soloing tonight. Hopefully it will be the last time I do that, but I'm excited for this season. A lot of changes in terms of the driver lineups, the championship, the rules. I've got a lot to go through, but first of all, let's talk through what is happening with the championship. So, we will have a regular championship, the normal championship that we have as well, consisting of these 14 tracks. So we got Japan this week, then we head to Australia the following week, then we got Abu Dhabi, which is a sprint race on the 2nd of August. Then for the first time in VSL's history, we will head to Qatar on the 9th of August. On the 16th of August, we head to Bahrain. Then we head to Britain. Monza will be in F2 cars. Then we got Baku. And then we got Spain. And then Portugal. Brazil is going to be our first 100% race. I'm very much looking forward to that. That will be on the 11th of October. Then we got Miami on the 18th of October. Canada on the 25th of October, and then Las Vegas to round off the season on the 1st of November. Season finale should be epic. And it's broken down into regions as well. So you got the regular championship, where the winner after all 14 rounds gets the regular season, well, pretty much gains the international championship title. And within the seasons, there are 3 regional competitions. We've got the Middle Eastern Asia Pacific Championship, is called the trophy. We've got the Formula Euro Open, which is the European round, and then we've got the America's Cup, which is the Americas round. So first 5 rounds will be Middle East and Asia Pacific tracks, which is Japan, Australia, and for each championship we have a special format, and this time it's going to be the sprint race for round number 3. Then after the first 5 rounds, we then head to Europe for the next 5 rounds after that. We've got Britain. Monza will be in the F2 cars for round number 7. We haven't done F2 cars in VSL, I don't think, but I might be mistaken. I'll need to double check that. Then we got Baku, Spain and Portugal after that. And then after that, we've got the Formula U, I just said that. The America's Cup, which is Brazil, Miami, Canada and Las Vegas, and 100% double points race at Brazil. So at the end of each regional competition, so the first one that we will face is the Middle Eastern and Asia Pacific Trophy. That's going to be the first one on offer. The top 3 will see bonus championship points. So first place will get 15 points, second place 10 points, third place 5 points. So the winner after 5 rounds will get the Middle Eastern and Asia Pacific Trophy. And then it will all reset for the Formula Euro Open, but the regular championship will stay the same, and the points will accumulate for the usual championship as we once know. So then after Portugal, for example, the winner after 5 rounds after that will claim the title, and etc, etc, etc. So at the end of the final race of the season, we have an overall champion, a constructors, but those who win regional titles will all be credited as the following. So Middle Eastern and Asia Pacific Trophy winner, then Formula Euro Open winner, then we got America's Cup winner. So now I don't want my monitor to turn off in 5 minutes. I forgot I had my PC on for so long. So hopefully that explains it. And the idea of having those 3 championships, as well as the usual full season championship, is to make sure that, well, you're still in it to win it. Like, if you miss a few races, then you could technically still win a regional title if you don't, if you're not in the overall championship, basically. And that's kind of cool. And that's going to be happening across both tiers as well. So it's not just Tier 1. Tier 2 will be the same. So that is the calendar in full detail. Hopefully I explained it right. If you have any questions at all throughout the stream, if you're watching this back or whatever, message the VSL Twitter account at VSL_F1, which you can follow on Twitter, or you could follow on Instagram as well. Or if you want to, follow me on Twitter at JessGames95, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But yeah, we are just waiting for a few drivers to join the lobby, but that is a good thing because it gives me more time to go through the build-up and go through all the drivers that are going to be racing. So we got a mixture of drivers that were here last season in Tier 1. We got drivers who were in Tier 2 as well, including, of course, the Tier 2 champion. And then we also got some new drivers that have never raced in VSL before, and we also got some league racing legends that are returning to league racing after a long break. So yeah, we're going to go through them. The teams were decided, I think, middle of last week. So are we ready to announce the teams? I know I am. Let's get started. So in the order that it was announced on Twitter, Mata and Speed Knighton, also known as Pete, will be teaming up in the Red Bull this season. And I do have some notes about the teams, which I should really do so. So Mata is a 4-time VSL Drivers Champion, and Speed Knighton was a Season 2 Drivers Champion. So those two have got a wealth of experience behind them and are looking to maybe secure the constructors for Red Bull like previous teams have done as well. In the Ferrari, we have Andreas, and then we have a space available as well. So if you are looking to race in VSL F1, make sure that you contact us and go onto the sign-up form. That will be amazing. And Andreas is new to the league, so a big welcome. I've seen him race in other leagues. He's pretty quick, so we'll see what he can do. In the Mercedes, we have Tony and Glot. Oh, it's Bessie, I think, he's racing. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll need to double check that. In the Mercedes, we have Tony and Glot. And will the driver relationships hold between these two? Because they are strong characters in a way, but they are very quick. There was a few people in the questions that I asked them were saying, oh, these guys are looking to be like favourite to be constructors champions. So I have a prediction that they could potentially do well as well. But you never know. You will get some predictions in the chat for you. So in the Alpine, we have 2 Tier 2 veterans. So after both of them doing very well last season, we've got Leroy, who missed out on the championship but scored some very decent points throughout the season. And 2-time Tier 2 champion Gareth makes his way into Tier 1 finally, and after dominating the last 2 seasons, but we feel like that he wants a challenge, and I think he's potentially going to do well as well. He's hoping to be on the lead that as well. But he's done well with quicker drivers before, so we'll see what he can do. We'll see what Leroy can do as well. He tends to struggle on this game, unfortunately, but hopefully after the first few rounds, he will be quite quick in that Alpine car. In the Aston Martin, 2 new drivers. We've got Tybe and Wazowski. I think that's how you say it. So I haven't seen what they're capable of, so it'll be interesting to see their pace and how they stack up against the rest of the drivers. In the McLaren, we've got Casper and Ewan. Casper, VSL Season 8 Drivers Champion, and Ewan, who finished a strong P3 in the Drivers Championship last season, which was very good. Scored some really decent points. Could be a dark horse in this championship. McLaren, of course, doing well in Silverstone in real life, looking to replicate that. So we got Cam and Yarham in the Williams. So Cam, again, was quite close to winning the Tier 1 championship last season, but got very unlucky on the last few rounds, which allowed his teammate Twisted to win the title. But he won the Constructors last season. He's looking to win that again. In the Alfa Romeo, we got 2 other new drivers, hot prospects of David and Enzo. I've heard their answers according to the questions I asked them, and they look very promising. And who knows, they could bring a little bit of a surprise to the table. Finally, we got 2 more. I thought we had, So in the Alfa Romeo, we've got Womet and Mick Pro. Womet is a league racing veteran that I've commentated on many times and seen him race in ILR. and in other leagues as well. So great to have him back. And Mick Pro, again, a new driver. We'll see what he could do because I don't know roughly his pace. And then we got Kieran and Tech31 Racing. Kieran won the Season 8 Drivers' Champion. Was it? No, it was Season 10. That was it, Season 10. And they're hoping to not finish bottom like Cass has done a few seasons ago. Anyway, this season. So, those are all your teams. Now, you take a look at them and you think, right, who do you think is going to be the Tier 1 Drivers' Champion? It's going to be... I think it's going to be quite close between these guys, but again, we'll have to wait and see what they can do, and we can get some predictions in very soon. But without further ado, let's head to the circuit. Hang on a minute as I get my track information up, and I need to, it would help if I get the tyres up. There we go. So I've got the tyres up. So we've got 16 drivers today, so not everyone was able to make it. They will get penalised, unfortunately, if they don't turn up. Quite a few no-shows as well. So a bit of information about the track was built in 1962. It was designed by John Hugenholt, situated 30 miles southwest of Nagoya. And Honda tested their latest motorbikes and cars there as well. F1 hosted its first race back in 1983, and that was when a chicane was added to slow cars down into the final corner, because otherwise there could be some issues as well. Then the curve was also made into 2 corners back then instead of 1 long bend. And the track was changed again when the new millennium came, and 130R slightly reprofiled in 2002 before more changes to the chicane closer to the following year. So there were quite a few modifications there. So the track is 5.8 kilometers long, 18 turns, 8 to the left, 10 to the right at a figure of 8, and it has only 1 DRS zone at the start finish straight. So tyre compounds, well, we got the C3, the C2 and the C1s. We find that when I've been racing in ranked races, the source can last a bit longer than intended, but they got to be a bit wary about their tyre temps. As we're watching Cam now heading towards Spoon Curb, it's getting quite overcast at the moment, so who knows, we could see some rain on the horizon potentially. As I said that, commentator's curse from Cam. As let's go on board with Ty. That's it. Ty just went past Cam, so he's heading towards 130. Oh, has he backed off? No, he's not backed off as well. You can take it flat out. Don't, in the race, put too much EOS, because again, you can send it to a spin. Mick Pro is the fastest man on the circuit currently, but let's see what Ty could do. Up to the line, and it is P5 for him, a 128.490. Then we've got Ewan has gone up to the line with a 128.734. And let's go on board with someone on their lap, actually, but we'll see if people cross the line first, as we got Glock, who has been on and off last season, but he's hopefully back for the full season as he goes up to the line. Can he get it on pole? Yes, he can! 127.0. So let's go on board with the Season 10 champion of Kieran as he heads towards the start finish straight. So turn 1 and turn 2 coming up here, start finish straight, DRS wide open, 8th gear, almost 200 miles an hour as you head towards turn number 1. Main overtaking spot on the track, you can pass down the inside, quite cambered, heading towards turn 2 and 3. Now going into the S's section, which the United States circuit was inspired from as well. Well, the United States circuit was inspired by the Suzuka circuit. Past Dunlop, hardest complex to perfect in Formula 1. Make sure you stay in 6th or 5th gear coming through the 2 Degler curves. And in F1 22, if you hit the curb too much, you spin, but it doesn't seem to be that much of a problem on this game. Heading towards the hairpin as well, another great overtaking opportunity. 2nd gear through here, hug the inside. It helps you turn, but traction is very limited on exit. Turn 12 can be taken easy flat, heading towards Spoon Curb as well. 5th gear on entry, 6th gear on exit, and then 4th gear just before you head to going up the hill before 130R. I think I do believe in the F1 games before that you used to have to break at 130R, but and Kieran apparently purple in sector 2, but we will keep an eye on these times as we head towards the Casio triangle now. And let me just get my telemetry tools up. I forgot that, but yes, towards final corner, and he's invalidating in the final corner, which can be so easy to do at times as well. I think that's the only time really where he can invalidate. Let's see if anyone else is going to be improving. Not at the moment, as most people on outruns. So Glock is fastest with a 127.066. So we got Yarham in second with a 127.319, and it's Endo with a 127.494 in third. So the new kid on the block doing very well, with Andreas in a P4 with a 127.718. Then we have David with a 127.735. Then it's Mick Pro, 127.875. Casper in 7th, 128.090. Then we got Leroy, 128.184 in 8th. We've got Mata in 9th, 128.280. Tybe in 10th with a 128.490. Ewan in 11th with a 128.734. And then we've got 12th, which is Speed Nice, with a 128.990. 4 drivers have invalidated their runs or binned it at some point during their lap, so they weren't able to complete their lap. So we'll see if these drivers can do it again. So we'll keep an eye on the set times as well. And I'm just going to actually see who has the fastest sector time out of anyone. So fastest first, second and third sector belongs to Glock currently, with a 131.285, first sector 39.239, second sector, and a 16.541 in the final sector. So we'll see if Cam can beat that as he goes towards the end of the first sector. Yellow flag in sector 1. Hopefully that's just people moving out of the way. 31.538. So not quite faster than what we saw Glock do earlier on in the session, as he heads towards the hairpin now. Let's see if anyone else is on a lap that could potentially. Kieran has been on those tyres for 2 laps now and still hasn't set a competitive lap time, so he's probably struggling a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on Cam for now as he heads towards Spoon Curve now, and we'll see what his middle sector could be like as well. He's got a 39.2 to beat in the middle sector, because otherwise he's going to be scuffed to not get pole position. Very much longer middle sector compared to the others. Could get a bit of slipstream from the Mercedes, but the Mercedes moves out the way. So middle sector for Cam was a 39.525, so about 3 tenths slower than Glock. So I think it's going to put him right in the middle of the pack, in the top 5. So he puts himself in a 2P4. We'll try and see if anyone else is on an improvement as we go as well. And we'll keep an eye on them as they try to make every second of the lap count. And high temperature, more important in qualifying, because it is different when every tyre that you use. So if some people decide to use the mediums, for example, they have to use different tyre warming techniques. I found a good one, actually, which someone taught me yesterday. As all tech spun into the wall. I think that was the same place that we saw John Lacey spun. I think, was it back in 1996? Yeah, it was back in 1996. It was a close shave, actually. But let's see who else is improving on a lap right now. So a lot of greens I can see at the moment. Glock is green, 31.280 right now as well. I think Yarham just started his run. He's green as well. And Cam is not improving because obviously he's on an in-lap. He's on a flyer, but he's not improving anyway. Purple middle sector for Glock, a 39.222 as he heads towards the Casio triangle. So this is going to be looking quick. He's set the pole time currently, but I think he's going to smash the times alight once again. Up to the line. Only just though. 127.027. We've got a few invalidations as Mick Pro comes across the line in P2. We also got Yarham, who's improving as well. 31.2 first sector, 39.3 middle sector. So where will that end up? That will put very close to Glock, actually, but I think Glock will just get him by a 10th. So Yarham up to the line. P3. He stays P3 for now. He might have been validated somewhere across the line. A few more people going up to the line. We've got the AlphaTauri of Enzo, who stayed in 4th position. Then we've got one of the Alpines. Might be Gareth. Yes, it is Gareth. Where was he doing? He's setting personal best first sector. Struggled a little bit in the middle sector, but he puts himself into P14 and 130.0. So still some time to be found for him. Or maybe his first run was just a cycle run, and then he might push again very, very soon. He's on 40% ERS, so I don't know about that one. But he has time in this session. A lot of people have time in this session. Kieran still hasn't set a valid lap yet. Neither has Tex. So I think the curse of the Haas being last, unfortunately, continues as David is on a run now. David saying a personal best in sector 1 with a 31.3. Really nice to control that car. Goes the AlphaTauri heading towards Spoon Curve once again. I need to remember these turn numbers because they're very, very confusing at times. Heading towards past turn 14, heading towards 15 of 130 R2. And he's got a little bit of a toe from the Aston Martin. And interesting fact about David, actually, his favourite track on the calendar is Silverstone. His least favourite is Bahrain and Abu Dhabi, and about tonight, he wants to win this race. So he's very confident that he could beat his main rivals, but he's not quite up there at the moment, so he needs to step it up a little bit. He thinks he can win the title as well, and he says, in his opinion, you always need to have confidence in yourself. That is true. That is a very good point, actually. That is a very good point. So, Kieran, there he is. Kieran has also said a few thoughts about the season. Japan and Canada are his favourites, so we'll keep an eye on Japan tonight. Every time I see him race around Canada, whether if I share the racetrack with him or if I commentate on him, he usually does well. I think there was one time where he was on for his first race, winning the while, and then I jinxed him, which was annoying. And Abu Dhabi is his least favourite. And he thinks Ewan and Sylvan is his biggest rivals. Both looking very solid in terms of pace. Might add Pete to that list because he'll spin, so it'll always be around him. Well, Pete did spin quite a lot of times on the last game, but to be fair, you can spin quite a lot on the last game anyway, so I don't think he'll spin too much on this game. And I didn't get his main goals for Japan this week, but he thinks Tony and Glock will win the driver's title. So, here comes Kieran up to the line to finish his lap. Is it going to be a valid lap? It looks valid for now. 1:27.2 puts himself into P4 currently. And Cam going through past the hairpin as well. Casper actually saying he thinks Cam's going to win the title. So, Casper giving some confidence to him. And Cam saying if it's not him, then Tony. Cam wants a podium today. He doesn't think he could get a win. He thinks he can get a podium. He doesn't like Imola, but he loves Britain and Bahrain. But he's sad that there's no Singapore. And his main goal, after missing it the last 2 seasons, is to win the title. And I think he expects nothing less for Cam. So Cam goes up to the line. Is he going to be pole? Still 4th place. So it is the calm before the storm. So let me see who people's biggest rivals are. So Enzo's biggest rival is David. David's biggest rival is Cam. Andreas' biggest rival is Cam as well. I've already said Casper's and Cam's. Gav thinks the rest of the speed lot are his rivals. Leroy, Pete and Kieran, they're the ones to beat. Ewan thinks anyone that wants to have some fun hard race because that's what I'm here for. So to be honest, he probably thinks everyone is his rivals then, according to his answers. Glock said I'm my own worst enemy at times, but the guys at the sharp end are my targets. And actually, I was commentating on a PSGR race on Monday, and a lot of people, when I asked that particular question, when I said, oh, who's your biggest rival? They said themselves. And it's all about that mind game. It's the opening round of the season. People may have their mentality, oh, I have to do well. Oh, if I mess up, then I'll get frustrated. But you got to be yourself. Be confident in yourself that you're going to do well. And it will help you. And if you have a rival, potentially like your teammate or your main competitor, then that can help you pretty good too. But I just brought it up here because it was very interesting to find out about people's rivals in that sense. Alpha's biggest rival is Kieran. Kieran's biggest rival is Ewan and Sylvan. I just said that. Matta's biggest rival is his teammate, Pete, and then Cam as well. Oh, Andreas has hit the wall. So has Cam as well. I think Cam's retiring in the pits, but Andreas is out of the session. And we will talk about more about the driver's thoughts in a minute because we do have our final moments of qualifying. The checker flag has dropped. Leroy and David will not be able to improve. And we got Yarham setting a personal best in Sector 1. We got a Haas driver that's binned it. 31.155 for Yarham. So looking good in that Williams car. And he's going to be the first driver to set a competitive lap. What's his middle sector? Oh, he's lost 1/10 in the middle sector compared to Glock. But this could still be competitive if he has a good final sector. Yarham goes up to the line. Is it going to be pole? Yes, it is for now. 126.926. We'll see if Glock could beat that. What is Glock's first sector? 31.262. So he's still fast in the first sector for now. We got one of the Red Bulls. That is Matta, I believe, is going towards the final corner. Matta personal best in first and second sector. 127.299, and both them have hit a car apart there. So people have got to keep an eye on each other when they do that. I don't think you're meant to do that. Anyone else going to cross the line next? I think it's Casper up next. Casper personal best first sector, struggling in the middle. And nope, he did not improve. So we just got Gareth, who doesn't improve. Or he does improve, but I think he invalidated. Glock is the only man that can improve. Has not set any personal best, and he's hit the wall in the pit lane. So, Johan, at the very last second, gets pole position for the first round of BSL Season 11 by 1/10 of a second. The first round of the overall championship, the first round of the Middle Eastern and Asia Pacific trophy. I said it in one mouthful, and I'm happy about that. So, we got Yarham in first, Glot in second, Mick Pro in third, Cam in fourth position, Kieran in fifth, Matta in sixth, Speed Knight in seventh, Enzo in eighth position, Ewan in ninth, then we got Leroy. That round up your top 10. Then we got David in 11th, then we got Andreas in 12th, Casper 13th, Ty 14th, Gareth 15th, and Tech in 16th. Tech, the only driver yet to set, well, did not set a lap time in qualifying. So, things can change going into this race, and I'm really, really excited. And I have to say, Johan looking very good to be taking the win. He's been looking very strong in Japan in the past. And there's certain drivers that could take the fight to him as well, if you think about it. So looking at last season's standings as well, in regards to Yarham missed out on third place because he missed the last two rounds. If he didn't miss the last two rounds, he would have comfortably got third place. But he did get a really good result at round number 5. He's got a lot of P3s. It will be great to see Yarham take the win. Cam got close as well. Glock. Last time we were in Japan, there were quite a few issues there. Let's hope he puts his issues behind him. But in the first round last season, he got a podium. So he always likes to start his season off strong. And of course, people like Speed Knight and did not score many points last season. Only scored 10 points, and that was at round 5. He's looking for redemption. Casper, surely he would want a better race, better season this season. But with Ewan as his teammate who finished third last season, hopefully that would give him the boost that he needs to potentially do well in this championship. And of course, we've got the tier 2 drivers from last season of Leroy and Gareth as well. Obviously, they've been used to racing in a lower division. So how are they going to fare against the Tier 1 drivers? Will they struggle or will they actually do well? I've seen in other leagues that even if people move to higher divisions, they hold their own sometimes. So I would like to see them both hold their own. That'll be really good for the league. But anyway, so we are about to get underway for the start of Season 11. Formation lap is on. That's a bit worrying because from what I've seen in formation laps, there has been a formation lap glitch where if you get disqualified, it disqualifies you from the race. So hopefully it doesn't happen. But as you probably have noticed, it is raining. So that puts my strategies that I was going to talk about now completely out the window. And I don't think I've witnessed a wet race on this game. Now, I have driven a wet race on this game, and I think it was around here. And it's very, very difficult to manage your tyres effectively. It's the one disadvantage that there's no wet time trial. So you have to be very invested with finding the right setup for you. You've got to do your research on how to make wet setups, because dry setups on a wet track, you definitely do not want that at all around here. As Johan is really keen to get going with this formation lap. Let's just hope that it doesn't come back to bite him. So, looking at the tyre lifespan of these tyres, 19 laps for the intermediates, 19 laps for the 16 laps for the full wets. And don't forget, if it stays like this, the drivers do not have to pit if they don't want to. So we could see a zero stop race. I can't remember if red flags is turned on. Let me have a look. Is red flags turned on? The answer to that is yes. Red flags is on. But red flags, I've noticed even when it's turned on, red flags don't come out much. So I think we should be good. Hopefully no disqualifications because we don't want to restart. Thank you. We got 2 disqualifications. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't translate to the race because otherwise we're screwed. But hopefully there was a patch that did fix that. But anyway, we're about to get underway for the opening round of Season 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we got a drive-through penalty already before we've even begun, but we are underway as Johan gets a really good start compared to Glot, making their way towards turn number 1. We got one of the Red Bulls and Matter, who drives it up the inside of MK Pro, but Cam tries to fight back a little bit as well. Ewan leads, but Ewan will have to serve his drive-through, so he's got to be careful with that. Both the Red Bulls have been making their way through the field very quickly, as Leroy with his cold tyres dropping down into 12th place as he's put past by drivers left, right and centre by Tep, by Casper, so maybe he's warm up his tyres a little bit more as Andreas and Tech have made past quite a few drivers too. But so far, some clean starts from everybody. No calamities, and as I just said that, Mick Pro has unfortunately left the session, so hopefully he can join back soon as Matt and Cam going side by side in their hairpin as both the Red Bulls are fighting for their life here as well. You don't want to squabble too much because that will allow Cam to really pull away, but Matt tries to hold on to P6 from his teammate. He does that very well, so all make their way towards Spoon Curve for the first time in this race. And they're on a train as one of the Red Bulls has spun. That is Speed Knighton that spun. And we got VSC because of it as well. And Tech 31 Racing has got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with David. So I wonder what's happened there. I think David potentially might have lost his front wing as well. And I wonder if he will have a full course yellow for that. And if I was you, and that would have been a great place to serve your drive-through. But he decided not to serve his drive-through now, which I'm a bit surprised about. I would have done it. So we've got Tybe in and Speed 9 in. I know why Speed 9 in, but I think Tybe has lost his front wing. So that is a bit unfortunate. Luckily, Mick Pro has just joined. Yep, he's lost his front wing. So, unfortunately, he's dropped to the back. His only way of coming back is a safety car. As the VSC has ended. Joachim still maintains the net race lead over Glock by 4/10 per second. And I don't know why the timings are showing weirdly right now. So I will do my best. So it's about 8/10 per second separating Ewan and Joachim. And around about 9/10 per second was separating everybody else. As well, we got the Ferrari who's had a bit of a squirm. Hopefully not an unsafe rejoin, but I think he got the car together as Andreas drops down to 7th place. But we got Casper trying to fight with Enzo on the inside of the hairpin, but to no avail, unfortunately. He could have another look up the inside through Spoon, which he doesn't. And bearing in mind, energy doesn't last very long around here. As always, Casper is going to try and go for 2 into 1 through one of the most difficult corners on the circuit. Up the straight, you do not want to go 3 wide into 130R. You just don't. You just don't. But luckily, all 3 of them managed to keep it clean, which is great to see. And Casper is going to have a look at Enzo once again. But Ewan serves his drive-through. That's why there's a yellow flag, I believe, unless there was another yellow flag for somebody else. As the timings, luckily, fix itself. So Casper on the attack. The red light is flashing, mainly because obviously it is raining currently. And let us know in the chat as well how you finding the wet on the F1 23 game. As sometimes it can be a bit of an issue for these drivers, but it's how they handle it. And I'm actually going to check if I got the sound right, because I might have had the sound wrong the entire time. Nope, it's all good. I've got the sound right the entire time. That's all good. But anyway, speed 9 and 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So I think he's got a lot of ground to make up there. And where's David? David's around 6/10, but we already got drive-through penalties, 5-second penalties, 3-second penalties from some drivers already. So the stewards are being quite strict already. They're not as lenient as well, so they've got to be wary about that. Glock's looking very good on these wet conditions, by the way, but Casper trying to send it up the inside of Enzo into Stowe, into Spoon. Same letter. Apologies. But anyway, safety car is deployed because Tybe is now out of the race. So it was very crucial for Casper to get that overtake done. And he did that, which was great to see. So, will anyone get some fresh boots on and go on to a fresh air Ventus? Tech's going to do that. But he might have got damage from earlier on, so it'll be interesting to see. And I believe Tech's serving his 5-second, and I think David's going to do the same as well. That's the saving grace for Pete, I think. That brings him back into this one as well. So it's a shame for one of our new drivers to be out so early. I would like to potentially see his POV to find out what happened with that. As Joachim has caught up to the safety car. Joachim has had no trouble at all. He's pretty much led this race since the very start, and he's done a very good job holding this field together and keeping everyone under lock and key. By the way, Kieran's up to 3rd, so Kieran doing a great job there. Let's look at positions gained from the start just to put it into perspective a bit more. So we've got Kieran that's gained 2 places, Matt has gained 1, Casper's gained 7, Enzo has gained 1, Leroy has gained 2, Gareth up 6. So Casper and Gareth have gained the most positions out of everybody. So they've tried to avoid the carnage the best they can. Tech's gained 3, biggest loser, Mick Pro down at 7. Speed 9 and down 8. Obviously he spun going on the exit of Spoon. Cam, Glock and Joachim, they pretty much stayed on exactly the same positions as they started, but surely they're keen, they're hungry to potentially do well. Now, whilst we're on a bit of a lull moment, whilst the safety car is making their way through the track, I've got some facts for you. So, the track is one of the most now on the calendar, making overtaking a challenge. I thought Monaco was the most narrow, but I might be wrong. Or it might be the same, but I'm not entirely sure. The Degner curves are named so after Ernst Degner, who crashed at the corner in the circuit's opening year. He survived the crash despite suffering terrible burns. And we noticed, oh, there was almost an overtake under safety car there. We don't want an overtake under safety car, my friends. And last year I remembered that there was a red flag for, I think, an hour because of the wet weather. And we do not want to talk about the trucks. We do not want to talk about the trucks. Typhoons interrupting on-track actions on numerous occasions as well. Memorable moments around Suzuka. The infamous Senna and Prost collisions back in 1988. Still argued about it. Did Alan Prost deliberately crash into them? 1989, done exactly the same. Prost was limited on the spot, while Senna was able to keep going, but was later disqualified and proceeded from the manner in which he rejoined the track. And then that's when Prost sealed his third World Championship. And then the first lap collision in 1990, exactly the same thing. But it was the other way around. It was done so in Senna's favour. First Ferrari title, 2000 for Michael Schumacher. Still makes me emotional to this day, personally. Michael Schumacher clinched his third World Championship win and his first of 5 with Ferrari. Schumacher was the first Ferrari driver to win a title with the team since Jody Scheckter in 1979. I think I said that wrong. And there was a titanic qualifying battle between Schumacher and title rival Mika Hakkinen. So, is the safety car going to come in this lap? I don't think so, because we are still going to be waiting for Pete to come in. So, chances to find out about people's goals for the season. So, Enzo's goal. Where are you, Enzo? There you are. And let me get the tyres up again. So, Enzo's goal is to finish on the podium in a race. David's goal is to compete for victories this season. Andreas' goals for the season is to make life difficult for Cam. Well, you can tell those two get on well. I've already said about Cam's goal. Casper's goal is to have fun mainly. Competition is tough this season. I have to say, I do agree with that one. Tony, who's not here tonight, but I'll say it anyway. Actually, no, it's not Tony. Or something else. Gareth's goal is get up to speed in the faster tier. He's barely touched the game. Maybe look at a top 10 finish here and just having fun. Well, he's 8th at the moment, so he's already exceeding expectations at the moment. Ewan's goal is having a somewhat respected end result and challenge the top guys. Glock wants to be competitive, have good clean racing, and most importantly, challenge for the title. Alpha doesn't want to be named the dirtiest driver. Kira doesn't have a clue what goals he has. He says 1 minute he's fine for podiums with some really good pace. The next minute he's 2 seconds off the pace of the leaders and keep making mistakes. He's not expecting a season 9 type of season, but maybe a top 5. And he's honestly going to his blind, so he doesn't know what his main goals are. Matta's goal is to step back onto the top of the podium, which we haven't seen in so long. I think since his championship winning season, it was crazy. And I think I commentated on 2 of his championships, winning championships, and it was great to watch to see. There was one championship where we thought he didn't do it, but at the latter half of that season, I think it was season 7, I believe, he managed to prove all critics wrong and win his 4th title. So there we go. So those are the main goals as well. And who do you think in the chat will win the title? Let us know. So, I'm almost certain safety car is going to come in now. Yes, safety car is going to come in now. So it will be Yarham's opportunity to control the pace currently. as we make our way past 130R into the Casio Triangle. Johan has got to get a lot of heat into his tyres. And here we go then, we're going green, green, green then for the second time today here in Suzuka. Johan has a lightning restart, so does Kieran as well. Glock was caught napping, which is a bit of a shame, but they're doing better than the likes of Cam and Matu as well. And also having a good restart is David, trying to go up the inside, around the outside. Oh, but Ewan, can he make it stick? Yes, he can. David is up into 10th place, a sensational move, one of the best moves of the race so far. He's looking like he could get a top 10 finish. And then we got Johan. Oh, contact. Johan has a bit of contact with someone. And he's down into 7th place as Glot and Kieran hang about for the lead. Kieran almost got the lead. So Glot currently leads this one with Kieran in 2nd place. Cam in 3rd. Mata 4th place. Oh, that was close for Cam. Almost an unsafe rejoin. He made a mistake then. Casper was like, thank you very much, I'm going to gain that position back. So through the hairpin, up the inside, maybe from Casper onto Mata. For a chance to get a podium spot here today. That'll be really good news for Casper. But still, we got a long race still ahead of us. Anything can happen. As Andreas gets past Mick Pro through Spoon. Nicely done. Up to 10th place. So a lot of movers and shakers here in this Grand Prix. Shame about Johan. He started the restart in 1st and now he's dropped down into 7th. I wonder if he's got damage from that. So David going up the inside of Gav. Gav going off the track. That's allowing Andreas to go past him. Andreas accepts as an open invitation as Mata. Whoa! Mata, that was very brave. It's a shame I caught the aftermath of that. But that was absolutely fantastic from Mata. I would like to see his POV of that, actually. I think everyone was caught off guard, and I don't think Mata was going to do it, but he did do it. Ewan's got a 3-second time penalty. Cass was up to 3rd now. So I wonder if Kieran has got some hidden damage that probably we weren't expecting. And we got Finley in the chat as well. Hello, Finley. Shame to see you not racing, but nice to see you in the chat as well. Race has gone all right so far. A few spins, a few really brave moves. We had 1 safety car and we had 1 BSC. No red flags though yet. As we got the 2 Alpine boys battling, as we got Leroy that's passed his teammate, and so did Ewan as well. But Ewan looks like he's going to fight Leroy for 11th place. Don't forget, top 12 at VSL do score points. Past the hairpin then, for the 8th time. Ewan just dropping back a little bit, so I think Leroy may have found a bit more pace, but looks like Tech 31 Racing goes around the our right-hand side into Spoon. And I think Speed 9 is going to do exactly the same. Oh, he hits a bit of Gareth there. That was close, that could have ended in disaster. Surely there's not going to be a side-by-side action through 130R. That was a well-timed move from Speed Knighton there, but he did get a 3-second time penalty due to multiple warnings there. But he still got the move done. So Glock still leads by 1.4 seconds. He is loving life. He's broken free the DRS of Mata. So that means Mata could struggle when he's faced with the likes of Casper and Kieran right behind. One driver that's looking very menacing and wants a little bit of a comeback as well is Cam. So we'll look at his ERS as well, because I'm the only commentator. And if you're wondering what the top light is showing, it's saying how much fuel they have got, and obviously the overtake is showing the overtake. Or it might be ERS actually, but I think I was told there was about the amount of fuel people got as well, which is quite handy to have actually. I wanted that in the game for years. As all, Enzo has been passed by both Andres and Johan. I think you can tell which drivers are liking these wet conditions currently and which drivers are struggling. To be fair, I'm not looking forward to doing a wet 50% race on this game. My first league race, I think, is in a week or two time. As you can see, Mick Pro going up the left-hand side. with Mick Pro on the cutback. Oh, there was almost a touch there. Pete has unfortunately left the session. So quite a few disconnects. Oh my God, that was brave from Enzo. 3 wide, Casio triangle. Don't go 3 wide, guys. And that's why incidents like that happen. There was almost an unsafe rejoin from Leroy. Oh my God, guys, that was pretty close. As Cam trying to go for a move on Kieran, which he does, up to 4th. A bit squirmy from David there through on the exit of turn number 1, heading towards the S's. There is a lot of people in this tier that are being very, very brave in terms of moves currently. And one piece of advice, I know I'm not a fast driver, but I know that you should not go 3 wide into 130R and Casio triangle. It just doesn't work. One person just goes off the track. You don't want to go 3 wide. It's impossible. But there's some people that want to do so, and they could be paid the consequences of it if they did. Oh no! Pete's AI's pitted. Oh, that's annoying. Hopefully Pete could join soon. And I think Pete's on a PS5, so he can join off of Matt's existing invite. David's looking pretty good on the exit of Spoon, actually. His straight line speed looking good. I'm looking at his ERS, actually. His ERS is looking quite promising, but he's got to use it. Obviously, don't use it through 130R, but he could use it going into the Casio triangle. Is he going to go to the right-hand side of the Casio triangle? Almost a love tap there, but at the moment, he wants to play it safe a little bit, which I have to say, fair enough. As on lap 11 of 27, look at the pace that Glock has got. It's incredible. I'm going to look at the best lap from Glock. Glock is the only driver on this grid so far. Why have I got the lap data? It's not qualify. Glock is the only driver so far who's in the 126s. Everybody else is in the 127s. So he's pulling away by about a second or 5/10 per lap. It's insane. And the best lap from... Actually, no, it's 127.0. Actually, no, that was qualifying. I'm looking at the wrong data. Oops. I should get qualifying shut. There we go. Qualifying is shut. Yeah, 139.955 was Glock's best lap time. And then the Red Bulls from 40.2 as Andreas gets past Kieran through Spoon. Nicely done. I have to say, Andreas has gained a lot of positions in this race. By the way, I'm just looking at how many pit stops people have made. Pete has made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pit stops. Yeah, 5 or 6 pit stops already in this race. No, he's pitted 6 times, my bad. I'm on lap 11. But he's still going, which I have to say fair play to him. Casper straight line speed looking very good around here. This is a track where you need a lot of downforce, but you may be compromised with straight line speed going towards 130R as well. But I think Casper has got a bit of both. He's done a lot to try and balance his setup. He's worked quite a lot to try and make his setup his own. Through Dunlop. Heading past the Ferris wheel. I actually have an interesting fact about the Ferris wheel. If I could find it. Give me a second. And it's because there's a theme park. Oh, yellow flag. Yellow flag. That's a Haas. That is... Was that Kieran? No, it wasn't Kieran. Oh, it was Tech that's gone off. It was Tech that has unfortunately gone off and gone into a little bit of a spin. So hopefully he can carry on very soon. So yes, theme park located on the same side as Zuka Circuit. Hence why you could clearly see a large Ferris wheel and roller coaster adjacent to the pit straight. I didn't know that. So, Johan on a comeback charge. He's just pitted. 2 laps to go. And he's the last person to get points as we speak. As David has got past 2 cars for 130 out. That was brave. I'm annoyed that I missed that. Tech is going to try and go up the inside of Leroy. Through Casio. Can he make it stick? He's got to leave the space. You don't want to see what happened in Lando Norris and Alexander Albon back in 2019. That almost ended in disaster. Pit stops. Cam, Kieran, Ewan, they have all come into the pit stops. Don't forget you don't have to pit in the rain. According to my telemetry, it's meant to rain through the entirety of the race, I believe. Let me check. Yes, it's meant to rain for the entirety of the race. Okay. 2.25 pit stop for Ewan as he comes out in 14th spot. Doesn't come out in traffic, which is good. Kieran's came out in a bit of traffic, but he got past Mick Pro quite comfortably, but Mick Pro's under AI anyway. So with those guys pitting, what does that send? What message does that send to the rest of the drivers currently out on circuit? Do they think, right, am I going to be able to keep pace with my older tyres and make sure that they last till the end of the race? Because the tyre temps could be a massive factor. Or we could get a safety car and it could change things, but Leroy luckily just had a moment in the hairpin and he did hit in the wall. So he's down into 12th place. That's allowed his teammate and Kieran to both get past him. So that explains that. And Glock wants to respond to the drivers that pitted. Understandable. I haven't noted down the pit lane losses around here. I will double check that in just a moment. But Glock comes out in 4th place currently. And Enzo comes into... Where's David? Because David is the one... Yeah, David's the one who stayed out. So where is he going to end up in relation to Glock? So he's ahead, but don't forget David may still stop. Or he might not. You never know. You never know. Anything, as Murray Walker would like to say, anything could happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. Pit lane loss around here. 22 seconds is the pit lane loss around here. So another move being made in the S's. Nicely done from Kieran up into 8th place. So Kieran did drop down, but he's gaining positions back up again. But he has pitted and he's on the fresher rubber, which does help. That probably worries the likes of Mata Casper, who's trying to prolong their tyres. And Johan, by the way, has made a massive undercut. Massive undercut. Even though Johan had a spin during that safety car period, he's had a massive undercut. Undercuts can be more powerful in this game than last game because tyre warm-ups are not a massive factor. Safety car! Safety car has been deployed, and that is a huge gift for the ones who have not pitted yet. If I were them, I would go onto some fresh rubber. Fresh rubber, and you should be fine. So Johan, he's still going to come out in the lead anyway with Glock second. I think the order's pretty much going to stay the same as what we saw after the pit stops. So Glock's going to be on the freshest tyres compared to Johan. Will that benefit him? Will he be able to get past him into turn 1? And then we've got the likes of Mata and Casper on fresh soft. Same with Andreas. And then we've got the likes of Kieran and Ewan that did the undercut as well on some drivers. David and Gaffs came in. Leroy's came in as well. And the reason why the safety car got called is because Enzo crashed out. And you can see a bit of his front wing as well when I was riding on board with Pete. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised that there wasn't any red flag, but To be honest, it just goes to show how red flags, well, they don't come out that often, which is good. I hate red flags that come out too often because it ruins the racing, personally. Right, okay, so chance to answer the second question. So, I've asked the drivers about the 3 regional championships because, as some of you may know, as well as the overall season, we've got the regional competitions as well. We've got the Middle Eastern Asia Pacific Trophy, the Euro Open, and I forgot what the Americas one was called. The Americas Cup. And at the end of every regional competition, the top 3 will receive bonus championship points. So first place will get 15 points, second place with 10 points, and third place with 5. And after every championship, as it were, the winner of that, after those 5 races, will win a title. That particular title, so it'll be the Middle Eastern and Asia Pacific Trophy winner, former Euro Open winner, and America's Cup winner. And basically with the championship, there has its own championship. So basically the championship resets after round 6. Well, at the start of round 6. But there's also the overall championship that still goes on, which counters for all of the rounds of the championship. So if you're not in the running for the overall championship, you could still be in the running for one of the regional championships, which does mean, for me, I have to do a lot of permutations during the season, and that's going to be hard for me in my brain because, to be honest, I am not perfect at maths. Never will be. I was, when I did my GCSEs back in 2011, which was about 12 years ago. Oh my God, it was that long ago now. But 12 years ago, I was predicted a B. I only got a C. So, and I know some people will be like, oh great, you passed. But I really wanted to be in maths so bad. But yeah, can't do maths very well. So yes, I'll have to do a lot of permutations throughout the season. But luckily, it's a season where I get used to it. So hopefully you guys can tell me your thoughts for Season 11 as a whole and what you think of the regional championship. And Finley wants to see an XE Sports 1-3. Love to see from the Williams. No, it's a 1-3, Carly. I thought you meant an eSports 1-2-3. Sorry about that. It's just hard to read the chat sometimes, but yes. So we got an XE Sports 1-3 as well. Great to see some other esports teams represented too. Quite a few free agents as well. Nice to see a variety. Now, before the safety car comes in, it's just a quick reminder to tell you about our socials. So if you're liking the action that you are seeing currently as well, don't forget to give the YouTube account a follow on Twitter at VSL_F1. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well at Virtual Sim Leagues. And hit that bell if you are new. Like this video too. Follow us on Instagram as well at VSL_F1. Also join on the Discord. I do believe the link is in the description somewhere. If not, it'll be somewhere on the Twitter anyway. And if you want to see more of my action, you can follow me on Twitter at JessGames95. You don't have to, but if you're liking my commentary and want to see more of my stuff, then you can follow me. And I always keep you up to date on what stuff I get up to, both in my personal life and in the esports life as well. So there we go. So everyone has done at least one stop. So we're not going to get the debate on whether we're going to have a 0 stop because it's not going to happen. Kind of wish someone was able to stick it out to the end. But unfortunately, not going to happen. I think there was a no assist race back in F1 2019, I think. It was in F1 2019 and F1 2020. Someone in the wet managed to get the inters to the end and was like nowhere at first, but then clawed his way to win the race. Incredible. And I've seen it done in Brazil, I've seen it done in the USA. But it was with people that were really good at the game. People with no assists, generally. So, everyone has caught up to the safety car. Also going on right now on the VSL YouTube channel. If you're watching this live, of course. There's also the Tier 2 stream going on. And you know what? Watch both at the same time. Support both of us at the same time. That will be great for us as a league and generally as well. Oh, they've got a safety car as well. Wow. Luckily, I think they're in the dry, so they're not experiencing the same conditions as us, but they've got a safety car roughly about the same time. So we're about to get underway. Safety car should be in any time from now. So Yarham, hopefully, will have a much better restart. He's probably used to this by now. And these wet conditions still look... It's not as difficult as the start of the race, but still look pretty menacing. A lot of people in the grandstands will have their brollies on them. And for the third time tonight, it's go, go, go. And Yarham, 3-second penalty. That is huge. That is very, very huge. And that's going to allow Glock to take the net race lead. And he may not challenge too much, which maybe allow Cam and Mata back into the picture as well. Casper's looking very racy as well. He's had the restart of his life as well. Quite a few people have dropped in the background. Tech is down in the 4th team spot. But he's having a battle with Pete once again through the S's. And obviously, Pete's AI, unfortunately, he hasn't rejoined, which is the same at the moment. But Casper launching the attack, trying to launch the attack on the first deck now. A lot of sparks flying on these cars right now as we head towards the second deck now. Managing it quite well. We've got a battle for the lead as Glock gets past before we even head to the braking zone of the hairpin. Glock leads the Japanese Grand Prix from Cam in second, who gets past Yarham, and he's dropped down to 5th now as Mata and Casper both get past him. And Yarham must be struggling with those cold tyres. He may not be warming those tyres enough as Leroy is out of the session, and we've got another 4-course yellow. So that is the scene of the crime, and that is a shame for Leroy. So we've lost 3 drivers already. So I kind of wish we didn't have another safety car, which means I have to ramble a little bit more. But anyway, there we go. It happens. We've had how many safety cars? 2 or 3 now? 3. This is our 3rd safety car of this race so far. And, oh, people are pitting. Matter? So, some people are... I thought people would want trap position. I thought people would want trap position, but boy, was I wrong. But I'm guessing they would want the fresher rubber, because if they didn't have the fresher rubber, they would be in a spot of bother. But we'll see. We will see. Now, look at all these penalties as well. Hold on. Penalty. No, don't want that. There we go. So let me give you an update on the penalty situation. So Ewan has got 3 seconds. David has got 8 seconds. Tech's got 3 seconds. Mick Pro's got 3 seconds. Speed Knighton has got 6 seconds. Yarham has got 3 seconds. And Kieran has got 3 seconds. So the likes of Glock, Cam, Casper, Andreas, Gareth, and Matt have got no penalties whatsoever. And they would probably were hoping for a safety car, to be honest, to bring them back, or they're like me and they're just probably sick of any safety cars that come their way currently. So, I think the safety car will be in for one more lap after this one. even though everyone has caught up, because that is the minimum on this game. So, I've got some advice for Yarham. Yarham, I think... Yarham must definitely be needing to warm up his tyres more. He's got to. Be very smart with the brakes as well on the throttle. You can see some of the drivers are just not weaving. They're not getting much temperature into the tyres. And they're not getting to the optimal temperature, which means that they could struggle a bit. So Yarham has got to do a lot better in that regard. We do have 7 laps to go. Maybe he has just potentially been a lot better with that. And now it's time for me to read some more facts about Suzuka. And by the way, just to let you know, 2024 was the current contract. So I wonder if it's going to get extended after this season. And you could probably put this in the chat as well. There was someone in F1 in 2005 who's won from 17th on the grid. And only 2 Grand Prix in the history of F1 have been won from further back. So if anyone can guess in the chat who they think that is, that'll be great. Ah, yes, that is true. That is true. That was a trick I got told yesterday. I got told that trick yesterday. It's a really good trick. I'm not going to go into too much detail because otherwise the drivers are going to kill me. But I was told it by someone yesterday. I don't think I'll do it myself because of reasons. But it's quite clever when you think about it. So they're doing the brake trick to hit the inside of the tyres. But don't worry, I'm not going to say how. I'm not going to say how. But I know obviously some people have learned to do that already. But anyway, safety car is in this lap. And hopefully it will be the final safety car. I don't want to see any more safety cars, please. But I'm worried that I could jinx that. So I'm not going to say anything more. So anyway, for the 4th time tonight, here we come then. Glock leads the field away for lap 21 of 27 as Casper is looking very racy again with Andreas, but this time it's Andreas that wants to go on the attack, heading towards turn number 1. And look at this, we got David and Ewan around the outside into the start of the S's section as David covers off Ewan very nicely indeed. We also got Gav and Alpha fight for it as well. We also got the Williams of Yarham trying to fight back. And there's a lot of ghosts, which can make things, I think, even more harder for the drivers. As we got Kieran right on the back of this. Probably, I think, going to take a back seat unless they want to make it 4 wide, which I hope. I hope they don't make it 4 wide because I will have words. And already, Glock is leading by 1.3 seconds, which is incredible. As Gareth trying to go up the inside of Kieran and Yarham. Kieran trying to go on the cutback as well. But Tech stays ahead of Gareth. And Yarham managed to fight back on the inside as well. So great stuff and comeback for Yarham. He's now going to fight Tech now. Kieran. I think some of the drivers may not be fighting too much because they know they got penalties, or it might be just because of the pace differential compared to obviously their main rivals. But we will see as the race goes on. Let's watch Casper fighting against David. David doing a very good job, but unfortunately, David has got a 8-second time penalty, so he's going to drop massive. I do believe one of them in a stock go. Oh, please don't be another. There's going to be another safety car, isn't it? Tech's out the race. I don't know where he's gone. We've got to save. You've got to be kidding me. 3 safety cars in a few laps. What the hell? Oh my god. I think safety car is on standard. I did say no more safety cars and we got them. Oh my god. This is our 4th safety car? I think you can only have 5 as well. So Tech must have binned it. I don't know where Tech has binned it. Hopefully Tech can tell me what happened. But we're now down to 12 runners, which means if you are still in this race, you'll still get points. And if you get the fastest lap, you will be on some decent points as well. So there we go. So unfortunately Tech has retired, which caused our 4th safety car. To be honest, I think Finley's quite glad you're not racing, to be honest. But Philly, I think usually does well in these type of situations. I know he's watching in the chat. So I think this will be the last safety car. I don't think we'll get any more. I doubt it. I really doubt it at this moment. But I think I won't be surprised to see everyone pit again for fresh rubber. So it's going to be like an overall sprint to the finish, I think. Because we got, I think the likes of Glock and Ewan in those tyres for 9 laps. But some of them would want track position anyway. So none of the front guys is coming in. So they're not following my theory. Okay. So they're not going to go on fresher rubber. They just want to get to the end. Gareth, though, is taking the gamble. Gareth wants the fresher rubber because he feels that going on the older rubber is not going to help him whatsoever. Brave call. I like that brave call. However, can that work for Gareth? Well, he's got nothing to lose anyway because there's 4 retirements. I think he started 15th or something on the grid. So he's going to gain no matter what. So he's got the least to lose out of this situation. Andreas is in 3rd. He's got no penalties as well. So he could be on for a good result if he keeps this up. But he's got to keep it clean. Casper, be looking racy. Quite a lot of these guys be looking very racy. Some drivers could do well, but they were played by the amount of penalties that they've got as well. And by doing the brake technique, by the way, this helps them burn more fuel. And if they want to save fuel, they could do it that way. So, one thing about saving fuel on this game is do that. Do the brake trick, which I'm not going to tell you about. If you want to know about it, speak to one of the drivers. So one more lap once again. I'm actually going to see how many, what has been the most races with safety cars in the Japanese Grand Prix. So I'm going to ask that. Hold on. Most races, Japanese Grand Prix safety car. I'll put SC, it's meant to be safety car. F1 track stats. Oh, perfect. I like my track stats. So, here we go. Oh, come on. I want to see the full article. There we go. So, there has been 16 wins from pole, 27 wins from the front row, 5 wins from 3rd or further back, and Kimi Raikkonen won from 17th. So if you got that right, well done. There has been 1,651 racing laps on the Suzuka circuit since F1 first visited it in 1987. And I don't know why I've got the lap data there. I need to disable it again. There we go. 751 cars have entered into Grand Prix held at Suzuka. Of those, 719 have qualified for races. 712 have started the race. From the 712 cars which started the race at Suzuka, 491 have reached checker flag. That gives an overall finish rate of 69%. But it's not telling me about, say, there we go. There has been 10 races at Suzuka which is featured as safety car. In this race alone, we've already reached the real-life safety car record because the most safety car appearances in one race is 3, which occurred in 2014. So 3 safety cars in real life, and we've had 4 in VSL. So, yeah, we have already broken the record. Plus, we still got, I think, plenty more records to break this season. Hopefully some good ones. And I don't think we're going to get DRS, I don't think, unless the safety car comes in now. No, safety car's going to come in now. So, oh my God, no, actually, no, there is going to be no DRS. Of course, there's no rain. What an idiot. There's going to be no DRS because of the rain. And it's not going to dry up quick enough. But anyway. Kieran on fresh tyres, so is Gareth. Everyone else on older tyres. How's that going to come into play? As for the 5th time today, Glock is going to be leading the field away. And we're going green now. And looks like it's quite even between Glock and Cam. But what is good is Andreas could try and get both of them, but he's not at the moment, as Gareth has already got past one driver, I believe, up to 10th spot, as Cam has got up the inside, going through the S's. Andreas, oh my God, that was very brave from Andreas, and he's got the move done. Andreas has got the move done, and he's up into 2nd position. Ewan trying to do the same as well, and as we get towards the end of this race, we are seeing some more brave moves happen at the moment. You can see one of the AlphaTauri trying to go up the inside of Casper there. And they're trying to find the best line possible through the hairpin. One of the prime overtaking spots here. Oh, we would love tap from David and Ewan. Mata got past Johan very easily as well. And I think we could start to see Mata and Johan doing very well because they're on 6 laps. But are they able to catch the ones who have the most laps on their tyres right now? So it may be down to track position. So maybe ones that pitted may not be the smartest thing to do, but we'll see. David through 130R. Surely not. Oh, no. As David almost hits the wall. Luckily, he avoids the wall. And luckily, the 2 below are ghosted anyway, so it's all good. Oh! Johan has gone off as well. Oh! My God. That's lost a bit of time there for some of the drivers. And it could have ended in tears there. As Glock leads from Andreas in 2nd. Glock's falling away, so this could be a battle for a P2 here. As Matt and Kieran gets past Ewan. Ewan is struggling a little bit there. And we've got a yellow flag in set to 1. That is Johan that spun again. So maybe his tyres was getting very, very hot when he spun in the final corner. There's so much that's happened in these last few laps as well. And I think there was a debate on Twitter on whether we should have safety cars. I think we should still have safety cars, personally. But not too much. I think it should be reduced, personally. As we're starting to see, I think, Mata trying to be very brave once more. He looks to the right. Casper goes defensive on the left-hand side. Mata goes around the outside. But he runs right through Spoon Curb. This invites Casper to retake 4th place from Mata. But Mata's like, nope, you're not having that, sunshine. And look at this. Kieran wants to join in the fun as well. No, I do not want it to go free wide into 130R. But luckily, Kieran backs off. Mata gets past Casper once more into the Casio triangle for the penultimate time. Has Casper and Mata still plough on for 4th place in this race. David dropping back because of his penalty as well, but he got past the AIs of Mick Pro and Sven Knighton, so he's up into 10th place. We are on the final lap of this race. And even though Glock is leading at the moment, who knows what could happen. But Glock has been looking like he's the favourite throughout the entirety of this race. And we'll see if there's any more battles happening at the moment as Kieran. We can see a lot of positions gained through penalties here at the moment, but for now, Kieran could try and get past Casper. Oh, no, he's not. He's lost a bit of time to Ewan as well. Kieran runs wide a bit more. So that's Kieran down to 7th, and he could lose another position soon. Well, he's going to lose quite a lot due to penalties anyway, but at least the deficit will be a bit lower for Kieran. So Kieran's struggling on 3-lap tyres compared to Ewan's 14-lap old tyres, and Ewan is doing a brilliant job. So, who's going to win this one? It's going to be Glock or Andreas. Glock is about 5/10 clear of Andreas right now, heading towards 130 yard for the final time in these wet conditions. The first race of season 11 for VSL F1 has been absolutely electric. And Glock's going to come up to the line. He likes Japan. And he's going to win in Japan, the opening round of the season. And the opening round of the Middle East Championship. Andreas comes along line in 2nd. A brilliant result for him. Cam in 3rd. Mata 4th. Casper 5th. Gaff, a really good result in 6th place. I'm sure he'll be delighted for that. I think he's going to be a driver who I think picks up results like this if obviously people make mistakes. But he had the pace on fresher rubber as well, so he did deserve to be there. And of course we've had we've had Kieran in 7th, Ewan in 8th place. I can't remember who finished in 9th, but there we go. There is your podium. Too much safety cars. Hopefully we'll get less next week when we head to what's the track next week? I should remember. Australia. Oh god, we could have safety cars galore there. Let's hope not, please, VSL, for my request. But anyway, let's go through your results then. As Glock will be leading both championships after taking the win here from 2nd. Andreas, by the way, from 12th to 2nd. That is crazy. He gets one of my Drive of the Day votes as well for keeping calm as well. Casper as well. I think Casper and Gaff have done well there. Probably my honourable mentions as well. But Andreas from 12th to 2nd. Amazing. Cam in 3rd. Mata 4th. Casper 5th. Gareth 6th. Kieran 7th. Ewan 8th. Yarham 9th. David 10th. We've got Mick Pro and Knighton. But I think they were both under AI anyway. And the retirements are Tech 31 Racing, Leroy, Endo and Tybe. I'm going to have a little bit of a lie down after that, but I hope you guys enjoyed the opening round of VSL F1 Season 11. We are back for F1 23. New handling model may have changed things quite a bit for these drivers, but for all we know, it's been amazing to watch, and I'm looking forward to next week's race in Australia. And thank you to those of you that have been tuning in the chat, or if you've been watching it post-event. We are very pleasured to have your company as well. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't so already. Looking at the stats as well, there's quite a lot of you that haven't subscribed. So make sure you subscribe, hit that bell if you're new, and like this video. Also make sure you follow us on our socials at VSL_F1 on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure that you join our Discord server as well to keep up to date with all VSL news. And if you want to hear more of me, which I don't know why you do, but if you want to hear more of me anyway, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JessGames95. So, that is it then for the opening round of the season. Join me and Mike next week for round number 2 in Australia. I have to say, a track that provides so much chaos at times, but some very brave moves once again. And a track where it's the home of Oscar Piastri and Daniel Ricciardo. I've been Jessica Ball. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.